guys, my name is Jacqueline. I am getting ready to interview for the Disney College program. My scheduled interview time is not until 2:45, but since they can call 15 minutes before or after, I am ready. I have got all of my notes taped to my mirror, laid out in front of me. I am jamming to some Disney music, and I am just waiting now. Good afternoon, this is Jacqueline.
Hi Jacqueline, this is Casey calling from Disney. How are you doing today?
Hi Casey, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for asking. Well, I'm calling for your telephone interview for the Disney College program. Is now still a good time?
Now is a perfect time.
All right, wonderful. Well, I do want to share that we are going to be together for around 20 minutes, and I'm just going to be asking some questions, getting to know you a little bit more and to learn about your work experience. We'll have some time to talk about the college program. We'll go over some of the roles that you're interested in, and at the very end, if there's any questions remaining, I'd love to be able to answer those for you.
Okay, sounds great.
All right. Jacqueline, now all of our roles on the parks and resorts, they do require you to wear a costume and comply with the Disney look and appearance guidelines. Now, have you had a chance to look over those guidelines, or would you like me to review them with you?
I'm familiar with the guidelines.
Wonderful. Now, for costuming purposes, do you have any tattoos, piercings, or body modifications, such as an ear gauge or a dermal piercing, that would be visible outside of a tank top or mid-thigh length shorts?
I do have regular ear piercings, and then I also have a nose piercing.
All right. Now, coming out in costume, would you be all right with having to remove that nose piercing?
Of course.
Okay, perfect. Now, Jacqueline, we also have a few roles that also require our cast members to operate vehicles. Do you have a valid U.S. driver's license?
Yes, I do have a valid license.
All right. And I see that you are interested in coming down to the Walt Disney World program in Florida, and that you have chosen your first choice of seasons would be our Fall Advantage. Now, that Fall Advantage program is going to arrive in May, and then it's going to run all the way through January. And if that's not available, you're also open to our fall program, and that one's going to go from August through January. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Now, living out in Disney housing, you could have the opportunity to live with anywhere from 1 to even up to 7 roommates. Now, in your previous living experiences, have you ever lived with roommates before in a shared room environment?
I haven't lived with a roommate in a shared room, but I've lived on campus all 4 years of school, and so I'm definitely familiar with rooming with other people and different personalities and things of that nature.
Wonderful. Well, Jacqueline, sometimes a disagreement or stressful situation is just unavoidable, whether it be at school, work, or home. Could you tell me about a time that you have been able to independently handle one of those types of situations?
Sure. So during my sophomore year of school, I had roomed with 2 other girls. It was a 3-bedroom apartment, and one of the roommates actually ended up moving to a different dorm so she could become like a resident advisor. And the roommate that had stayed behind and I sort of had differing opinions about fridge space and AC temperatures and things of that nature. And at one point she had guests staying over on our couch on the weekends, and so it was kind of just a situation where I messaged her privately and asked if she had time to meet up to talk about some of the things that were bothering me, and really we were just able to communicate and come to a compromise regarding all of those situations.
Wonderful. Well, Jacqueline, I know, there's so many different internships and different programs out there, and I'd love to find out why you want to come out and be part of the Disney College program.
For me, Disney is just the epitome of hospitality, and being a hospitality major myself and wanting to go into an event planning career where I'll be interacting with customers on a daily basis, I think there's no better company to study from and learn from for that profession.
Well, let's expand on some of those skills that you already have, and we'll see where we can plug them into some of those roles. I see that you have listed, being a nanny, you've also been a parks inspector, and also that community assistant there in housing. Now, Jacqueline, having that guest servicing and that communications with customers or guests, have you ever had to resolve a difficult customer situation?
I did. So I actually completed an internship with the Omni Amelia Island plantation this past summer, and we had a guest that came up to our pool hut and was upset that our staff had removed the towels from their chair. Their phone had actually been in one of the towels, and so they were quite upset that that phone was now missing. And so I was the only person around at that time, and I had to apologize and explain that our staff is supposed to go around and collect towels that don't have personal items on top of them, but sometimes it's hard to see. They're kind of wedged in between things, and I asked for their room number and their hotel information so that I could contact them if we were to find the phone, and I told them they could contact housekeeping. I actually radioed down myself and asked if they had found the phone already. They had not, so when they did find the phone, we were able to contact that guest and return the phone to them.
Now, being able to take on many tasks throughout your time that you're working, and maybe, you get asked to do something else, and then your phone rings, and then you get taken in a different direction. Do you just feel comfortable being able to multitask and keep track of everything that you're doing throughout your shift?
Yes, I am quite familiar with multitasking as a college student. There's a lot going on at one time between, schoolwork and my regular work hours and extracurricular activities. So for me, it's just about prioritizing and organizing things in level of importance and just making sure that everything gets done really the best way possible.
Well, could you tell me about one of your busiest days that you had at work, and just how you were able to keep up with everything going on around you, and how did you feel when it was all over?
That's a great question. Actually, over the summer, I worked through all of the major holidays. So 4th of July was one of our busiest at Omni, and it was one of those 14-hour work days where it's constant moving. You don't really have time to slow down, and there's just a lot going on. And I think the way that I handled it was just being able to rely on my coworkers, asking for help if I felt overwhelmed, and communicating to my managers where I was going to be and what I was going to be doing, and just making sure when I did have that lunch break or time to get a water break, just kind of collecting myself and reminding myself that it's all for the guest's experience, and you don't want to, slack on that and ruin their experience. It's kind of about maintaining that energy and making sure that they have a great time.
Well, working at Omni also, how did you make sure that safety was a priority when you were moving around?
We had a list of safety standards that all employees had to memorize and sort of make sure that they were following throughout their shift, and we had a great team of security and safety officers kind of roaming the property every once in a while, and if we saw guests, running by the pool is something that we saw a lot, or having floaties in the pool that were maybe too big that we couldn't see guests if they were to, slip to the bottom of the pool somehow, and kind of enforcing those rules as we needed to.
Well, now, having that interaction with the guests, sometimes maybe only having 30 seconds or a minute to have some kind of an experience with them, how do you make sure, Jacqueline, that you're giving them a unique experience when you do get to say, greet them or help them out with something that's going on?
Something I like to do is just making sure that you use their name to personalize that experience and that interaction, and asking them personal details, maybe where they're from or what brings them to that location. So if it were Disney, what brings you to Disney, and how long are you here for, and what are some of the things that you're most looking forward to, and just trying to have one or two questions that kind of draw out that personal interaction.
Mm-hmm. Well, now we have a lot of different types of roles where our cast members are, maybe constantly walking around or standing throughout their shift, both in indoor and outdoor locations. Jacqueline, do you feel comfortable working in any environment?
Yes, I do. I lived in Florida for 10 years and kind of got used to that heat and the torrential downpours or the 5-minute showers and everything. And working at Omni over the summer, I definitely got used to the heat and standing for long periods of time, so I'm absolutely comfortable in that environment.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Jacqueline, Jacqueline, we do have guests that come from all over the world, and so sometimes communications with those guests, if they don't speak the same language as you do, can be just, maybe a very small little speed bump in their vacation. How would you communicate with a guest that does not speak the same language as you do? What are some different ways that you can help them out?
If I were to get into the program, I would try to learn a few key phrases that were able to communicate to the guests that although I'm not able to fully help them, I will do my best to find someone that can. Other than that, I think I would try to find someone who speaks that language, and if that is not an immediate option, I would try to find a map that I could use to draw to kind of direct them to guest services or somewhere that they would be able to receive the help that they needed.
Well, looking through the roles that you are interested in, you've got just a few here, so I'd love to be able to just talk about those. So such roles as like that merchandise and the vacation planner, working around a sales system and also being able to do some cash handling. Do you feel comfortable, being in a position where that would be something that you would need to do, maybe handling even large amounts of money?
Absolutely. Working over the summer at Omni, I handled a lot of sales of snow cones and crafts and activities and things of that nature. And in my current job, I shop for the residence hall that I work for, and so I frequently handle large amounts of petty cash and go shopping and have to keep track of that money to return it. So that's definitely something that I'm comfortable with.
Well, being in that sales environment, what different attributes do you think you possess that would make you a good salesperson?
I think I have a positive attitude that I could bring to the sales position, and an ability to listen to what a customer or a guest needs, and the ability to help find what they're looking for. And I also think that I just have a strong work ethic. So even if I don't know how to handle a situation to the full extent, I think that I'm good at learning how to and kind of handling the curveballs that might be thrown my way.
Well, working in those areas, such as the merchandise, being indoors or outdoors, the big box stores, maybe even helping in a gift shop at one of the resorts, or even pushing one of those merchandise outdoor carts. Now, being able to interact with the guests at the same time, and also being able to even push or pull that cart. Now, that cart can weigh about 25 to 30 pounds. Do you feel like you could physically be able to handle the different aspects of that role?
Yes, I do.
Now, Jacqueline, with that merchandise role, you could also be placed at our stroller and wheelchair rental area. Now, being able to help those guests, maybe you've got a family that's coming up with their hands full and they're just like, I just need a stroller. My kid is so tired. I can't carry them anymore. What are some different ways that you can help a family, helping them load up, and then maybe they're asking for some help, just they don't know where to go for dinner. They don't know, they have no clue, they've never been to, let's say you're inside Magic Kingdom, they've never been to a restaurant. What are some different recommendations that you can talk to them about?
I would definitely recommend a character dinner. I think the Winnie the Pooh dinners were some of my favorites visiting the parks myself as a kid. And so that is something that I would recommend to them. Other than that, I think just trying to determine the best solution for them. So if they have a lot of young kids, maybe they don't want something that's so formal. Maybe they want something a little quicker. So I would take their needs into consideration and then make a recommendation that I think would suit them the best.
Wonderful. Well, Jacqueline, that last role that you have on here is going to be the attractions role. Now, this role can start all the way in the parking lot. So the people that are helping on the tram, talking on the microphone as they're bringing those guests in to start their adventure. Jacqueline, do you feel comfortable public speaking, talking on a microphone, and even memorizing a monologue?
Yes, I do. I had a lot of experience with this over the summer, having to get on a microphone at the pool deck of Omni and making announcements for different activities and announcing to the kids all the crafts that we were offering that day. And, we had a lot of hands-on events like Simon Says, so we would kind of broadcast that to the rest of the pool deck to make the kids excited and kind of have them show off their skills a little bit. So, yes, I am definitely comfortable with public speaking.
Wonderful. Now, working around children, they could be in line, they could be playing on the ropes, they running around, and also being able to check their height. So sometimes we do have guests that they're just not quite there for that safety standard. They just have a few more inches to grow before they'll be able to ride on the ride. So what are some different ways that you can talk with that child or that family to let them know that maybe the next time they come out, they'll be tall enough to ride on there?
I think for the child, what I would try to do is explain that the character of the ride that they're wanting to get on just wants them to be safe and doesn't want them to hurt themselves. So I think after explaining that and kind of trying to get them engaged, I would tell them about rides that maybe they are tall enough for and try to incorporate a lot of the characters. Like Mickey wants you to go and ride this ride. He thinks that you'll have such a good time on that ride, and kind of trying to communicate to the parents that it's just a safety thing and there are a lot of other fun rides that their kids would definitely enjoy at the parks.
Oh. Well, Jacqueline, based on the descriptions in the role checklist and the roles discussed today, are you able to perform the essential functions of the roles with or without a reasonable accommodation?
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, those are all of the questions that I have for you this afternoon. Let me share, though, what you can expect from this point forward. So we will be sending communications to you on your dashboard through the Disney Career Portal. Now, the majority of the decisions will be made and sent out by the end of March. So I will start checking my dashboard in about 1 to 2 weeks to see if there is any changes to that status. Now, just be aware that that dashboard status will not change from that current interview status until a final decision has been made. Now, if you are offered a role to come out and become part of the program, right there on that dashboard is where you'll get the vital information. It's going to let you know how to accept or decline that offer, the date for arrival, the role that you will have, classes available, and then you'll also receive some extra contact information just in case you need to get a hold of us. Well, it has been a fabulous time talking with you, and thank you for sharing your stories with me and for your interest in the program, and I hope you have a magical afternoon.
Thank you, Casey. I really appreciate you taking the time to call me today.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. I feel like it went well. There were little hiccups, I guess, but we shall see. I'm going to be, nervously checking my phone for the next 2 weeks to see if I've heard anything. Alright. I'm going to debate posting this. I guess I will. We'll see. Bye.